Welcome folks, Bill here in the back of the garden again, and whoa, lovely sunshine today again, beautiful. The month of May has been amazing so far. There we go. Feel like Edward Scissorhands. I'm actually going to, just over there somewhere, at the end of this fence, I've got some blackthorn and we're going to take some cuttings from them. Not sure what scissors would be best. I've got these ones that I got for Amazon. It's called the Shear Perfection. They're bonsai shears, so it'll be green and grey handles, and they're lovely. And these ones, Timu, for just over £4. Mad, eh? And just behind me here, over there, I've got some pots ready for putting the cuttings in, and a jug with water. So it's actually a ice cream tub with some water. So we're going to take some cuttings of the blackthorn over there, the ones that's grown in the black plastic tubs. We're going to take some of the cuttings, put them in the rooting hormone and put them in a wee pot, covering them up in this propagator, and see how I got on with them. And I think if you're going to be taking cuttings, preparation is key. You need to get all your things ready. Like when you take your cuttings, you want something to put the cuttings in, like a wee jug with water, to keep them fresh before you put them in the pot media. Then you need to get your wee pots ready over here, with the pot and soil. Make sure it's moist, and ready to put the cuttings into something to keep them covered up, like a propagator or a plastic bag. This is the first time I'm using the propagator. I normally use a plastic bag over pots. I'll show you that method, maybe do that. And some rooting hormone and all the things you need. Okay, so when you do take the cuttings, everything's there ready for you. So preparation is the key when you're taking cuttings. Okay, let's get on with the cuttings. Well, it's certainly the weather for ice cream, but this is just a tub of water, unfortunately. So these blackthorn here are the poor victims, and we're going to be taking cuttings from the tops here, where there's quite some nice, fresh, vigorous growth. And I'll be taking the cuttings from there and then putting them into this little pot of water. Now, I wasn't sure whether to take a heel cutting just by pulling this back, or just take a simple cutting. And I think what I'll do is just take a simple cutting like so. Okay, this is called a nodal cutting. So I'm actually, the way I'm cutting it is just, I don't know if you can see on camera there, so just back to a couple of leaves there. I don't know if you can see it, just back to a couple of leaves, and then the actual stem is like this. So what I'm going to have to do is cut it a little bit closer to the node and then take off the bottom leaves. So I'll try this plant. I've got 6 pots ready to take the cuttings, and don't know whether to take the big vigorous ones like this or ones further down where they're a wee bit closer together. Wow. That's the Timu scissors. They cut really, really easily as well. Just like that. No problem whatsoever. Not that I need these, I've got enough. So as you can see, I've already done some of these. So what I'm doing is just cutting off some of the leaves at the bottom and leaving a few leaves, maybe just 2, 3 or 4, whatever, depends on the size of the leaves, and then just taking the size back to suit the tub, putting it in some rooting hormone, and I'm sure you've seen this plenty of times in other people's videos. So I've got perlite and coco coir here, it's all been dampened, and it's just a case of popping that in there, firming it down. Hopefully Bob's your uncle. I'm not sure how long it's going to take actually till I start seeing results. So one of the things I was thinking about doing was just leaving the video and recording this part and then coming back to the video, or coming back to show you the results. But I'm actually quite impatient when it comes to shooting videos, and I like to get them out. So I'll probably just put this right out once I've finished editing, of course. So yeah, this is quite a lot of short internodes in this one. This one's quite nice actually. This may be the right time of year for doing this with blackthorns, or it may not. So we shall see. I'm just going to try it with 12 little cuttings, and the reason I'm only putting 2 and maybe not 4 is I'm not sure if the roots will go mental in these things. So I'm just making sure they've got a bit of room for the roots, because I know when they grow in the wild they put out a lot of runners and the roots just go wild. So I'm just taking it easy with these. For now. Right, this is going to be my last one. Which one's it going to be? I think perhaps this one. So these scissors that I'm using now, I got these for, like I say, under £4. No, under £3. Beg your pardon. They were £4 something, so they were under £5 from Temu. I thought it was quite good. I was expecting rubbish, but I was really surprised. Right. Right, so while I'm here, I've got some news about the Acer Katsura cuttings that I took last year. One of them started leafing out. The rest of them just, well, most of them look like dead sticks, and then some of them look promising. 1 or 2 started leafing out, but we've been having scorching weather, and one of them leafed out more than the other, and I thought, wow, this is a survivor, this is bound to have roots on it by now. And so I gently eased it out the pot that it was in, and there was no roots on it at all. So I don't know how it survived all this time. I don't know where it's getting the energy to leaf out. They still had green stem at the bottom, and I'll go and show you it just now. In this little baggie, this little compact little propagator thing here, it is still in here. Its soil still moist. It's still got a sleeve. That's the survivor from the Katsura. And think what I'll do is I'll put it in here, this propagator, beside these ones, and keep it happy. Alright, so I'll pop the lid on this, and For now I'll keep the vents shut, keep the moisture in there, okay, and I will keep it up the back of the garden here. So I'm going to keep this up the back of the garden. I'm going to keep it in a semi-shaded spot where it's going to get plenty of light but shade most of the day, because I don't want it getting scorched. Fingers crossed these do well, but we'll see. I have no idea. So now that I've got the lid on this, I'm going to show you Chinese elms that I've, and how I've actually kept them in a wee mini propagator. So here we are again, and these are my little Chinese elms. If you've seen some videos from last year, I actually tried to propagate some in a little fish tank, and this little plastic fish tank had a light above it, and I just put a lot of substrate in it, took cuttings, quite a lot of cuttings. I think there's about 17, 18 cuttings in it, and for a while they were growing and they were doing well, but what I failed to do was make sure there was drainage at the bottom of it, so they ended up sitting in soggy substrate for far too long, which rotted the roots, and ended up, none of them survived, but they were looking so promising earlier on in the experiment. I actually got this off of someone on YouTube, something similar anyway. I've got half of the idea on YouTube. These have been sitting in my potting shed, and I've had to screen the window because it's been sitting, and they've been getting a little bit scorched there with a bit of brown leaf. So so I took these on. Let's see, I've got a little handwritten label in there. So basically all this is a red drinking cup and a pint mug, and the red drinking cup has little notches cut in the bottom there. You can see them to let excess water out. So, and it's filled with a mix like that with a little vermiculite along the top for extra moisture. Any excess moisture gets captured in this cup, so instead of getting draining away, so it gets kept there instead of draining away. And it's something like that, except the label's in the road now. So I mean, I could put a couple of pebbles of pea gravel in there and set it in like that, but there's enough of a gap at the bottom for excess moisture, and I just pop the label in there, in between the two. There we go. And then to keep the moisture over it, I was going to put another plastic cup on top of this and tape it down, you know, like a little propagator lid, but it just so happened I was going to use painter's tape, because painter tape peels off easy and can stick back down again, but it was just didn't have any handy, so I just popped these bags over, which I did have, and I just kind of clip it there and then pull it up. So this one, there we go, just like that. And it's like a little propagator as well, and I just keep them in my potting shed. So that's another wee propagation technique that I'm using just now. Another Chinese elm experiment on propagating. But for now, let's hope these guys are doing well, and I shall see you in the next video, and thanks for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you liked it, if you got anything out of it, then give it a wee thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. See you again. Bye bye.